Assalamualaikum and a very good evening to all our listeners here at Sembang Sihat by SihatSihat. And once again, it's a very special episode because we have someone who's been an actor, who's been a host, who's been an MC. He's done so many things in the entertainment industry, and he also tried and has succeeded in creating his own businesses in so many ways through social media and also some campaigns as well. So, guys, please welcome my guest today, Razif Hashim.
Assalamualaikum, amigos.
Waalaikumsalam, senor. ¿Qué pasa?
Muy bien. Dah banyak sangat tengok apa nama ni, Narcos dan juga
Money Heist.
Money Heist.
Agak dah.
Gitu. You follow Money Heist?
I follow. Oh, lupa guys. Najwa pun ada kat sini kak.
Alamak. Dia lupa kat kita. Tapi tak apa. Today I will be co-hosting with Mike. So today is going to be an exciting episode.
Yes.
Is this your first time?
Actually, it is my first time.
Assalamualaikum, Najwa.
Waalaikumsalam.
Alright. So
Thanks for having me here, guys.
Dude, thank you for taking your time out of your busy
Yeah,
schedule. I know
definitely.
how busy you are right now because things are just starting to open up and you got a lot of things on your hand.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Also, guys, just in case you don't know, he got married 3 years ago.
Yeah, it's a few years ago. I don't like, wear it proud, but
Three more?
No, I've got the ring. So
I know, but like 3 lagi kosong tu.
What's this sign?
What?
Three more?
Oh, no, I'm just
Three more
holding it
slots or
this,
you're
but
showing
I
the...
didn't want to give the impression that this was a middle finger. So anyway, you know what I mean.
He's just showing the ring. Not 3 more slots. Okay, guys.
Oh, 3 more slots. Yeah.
Sanggup ke?
I don't know if I can afford it. I don't know whether that's Sihat for the wallet.
Nah, itulah masalah.
Bagus ni. Husband material lah.
Inshallah.
Always think about the zahir dan batin. Very good.
The Zahid, the batin, and the wallet.
Hey.
Okay, so bro, how have you been recently?
Recently, you mean like?
I mean, like this past few years lah. I mean, COVID was crazy, bro.
Yeah. I mean, like, boring. Everybody talks about COVID, but like, I think recently, since we got out of everything, since we decided that this is an endemic, something that I kind of already predicted was going to happen a long time ago. I guess things have been picking up. Work-wise, I've been able to go out a lot more as well. Not like to do things that not just like to like restaurants just for fun, but it's also like I've been able to go back to yoga properly. You know what I mean? That's fun. And there's just a lot of other activities that can be done, which is great. You know what I mean? And a lot of things can be done in real life, and now theater can be done in real life.
Yes.
So we're testing grounds again and
Yeah.
seeing how people are now. What is this normal? You know what I mean?
The new norm.
What is it becoming? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people don't want to open their mask. Some people open their mask.
Yeah.
And you have to respect all this. So I think it'll take a while for us to figure that out.
Yep.
But on top of that, because of this, I'm okay.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
I'm
But
okay.
like to compare to other countries, like
Yeah.
they're doing what we're doing now way before we started doing it.
Yeah.
Like everybody went back to normal straight away right after they found the vaccine and whatever. But itulah, kalau nak compare dengan kita, we're quite like late. What are your
Yeah.
thoughts about that?
Oh well, it's very simple. It's because they needed to stabilize politically.
Alright,
Yeah.
fair enough.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so no bro.
I'm telling you the truth. Itulah cerita dia.
It's a diplomatic answer.
It's
okay.
Okay, it's my truth. Alright.
Alright, fair enough. So give us a bit of backstory about yourself lah. Kalau orang yang tak tahu pasal kau kan,
Okay.
it's like you've been acting since like what 2005, 2004 sebenarnya. Zaman
Something
Golden
like
Ginshu
that.
kat Sunway Subang apa? Sports Planet Subang.
Sports plan. Oh yeah.
Golden
yeah,
Ginshu. I
that's
don't
right.
think our head of
I don't-
marketing also knows.
Yeah, I don't
Golden
think.
Ginshu.
Yeah, exactly. It depends
Dia
on how old
tak
you
lahir
are.
lagi.
Agak-agak ada lagi. Dia umur dia like single digits
Golden
lagi lah.
Ginshu one, right?
Yeah, the first one
Yeah.
dengan Fazura dengan
Yeah.
Sazi
Yeah.
semua.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like just a bit of background of yourself. Like
Okay. Yeah.
how did you get into acting?
So, Assalamualaikum to all those who have who don't know who I am. It's my name is Razif. I started off my career as an actor, and then I went to how do I say this? Okay, yeah. So I started my career as an actor, and then I went to school to learn to become an actor, which is like the Sunway School of Diploma in Performing Arts. Back then, that's what it was called. Now it's a degree, whatever. But I didn't finish it. I dropped out, and then I started looking for work because I like money, and I just
Don't we all?
Yeah, exactly. No, I think a whole new generation now really believes that education is secondary, and that's something that's that we need to address in terms of mental health, etc., etc. They're not wrong, but they're not right either. Anyways, I auditioned, and then I got work as an actor, and then from actor I became a TV host. From TV host I started becoming an MC, and then from there I started doing big projects, films. I was working on the 8TV Quickie, so I was doing live shows every single night for years and years on end. I did a lot of live TV shows, major national television shows as well in the earlier part of my age. And then somebody told me, Razif, if you want to like sustain in life, you actually have to study. So I was like, serious? Okay. So I found out about an audition that was happening in Malaysia of an international acting school. Like, so they came over, they were auditioning. I auditioned, I got in. And when I asked them, can I take a degree? They were like, do you do your A-levels? You do your O-levels? I was like, no, I don't have anything. I just have SPM because I never passed anything, right? And then they were like, okay, so what have you been doing all this time? So I was like, I've been working. So I showed them my CV, and they were like, okay, we'll give you a master's. So I essentially jumped straight from an SPM to a master's after like 5 to 6 years of working
That's
experience.
huge.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it can
Yeah.
still be done. It can still be done, and this is something that because I understand a lot of the youth today are not really into studying. You know what I mean? They're more into working. I love it. I think this approach is somewhere that I would love to share with everyone out there. Anyways, so and then I went to the UK. I studied for about 2 years, did my masters. I worked abroad for a while as an actor mostly. Then I came back, and then I had to start all over again. I did TV shows, and then my biggest thing was a food show called Best in the World, and from there it propelled me to do more travel shows, etc. And I just do theatre for fun. So while I was doing that, I was also doing a lot of entrepreneurial stuff. So I was testing myself as an entrepreneur, as a tech entrepreneur, as someone who did all sorts of other things. But then now I've sort of realized that, okay, I like to do what I like to do and what I'm good at. I should be doing what I'm good at. So I've got this latest preneur called Wayang Kitchen. And it's basically a company that combines food and theatre. And what we do is we sell like high-end artistic theatrical experiences with makanan. So that's what we are working on right now. And other than that, I'm just grateful that the thing is I started that just before COVID.
Yep.
And we had invested so much money, and just before we were supposed to launch, suddenly we had to shut down, So that was sucky. But we managed to pivot. We created 2 online shows. Both of them for the UK market, right? But that's because my partner's British. So yeah, it showed that doing something like this can be scaled and can be transformed to an online format and can be scaled actually. But we are much more interested in doing live stuff.
Yeah.
So inshallah, now since things are opening up, we can do that. So that's me in a nutshell.
So business on theatre kejap lah kan. Okay. So acting doesn't matter. Correct? I mean, like, doesn't matter if it's for TV or theatre. Just your opinion lah. Is there a difference or it doesn't matter?
I mean, there is a difference. But now the thing is that, because TikTok is moving so fast, we're going to come up with brand new. So, I've worked with Mike before, and, when we were teaching acting, or the kind of acting that I was learning and teaching is very traditional. We were talking about things like Stanislavski, we're talking about really old school stuff. Nowadays, however, I think because of TikTok and the gang, right? It's like there's going to be a new wave of actors. It's going to be a very new wave of performance as well. What people will find interesting and perceive to be realistic, but maybe people don't want realistic, believable performances anymore. Maybe they want something else, and therefore I think acting schools have to look at the content that's organically growing today and identify what is this style that,
And basically just following the trend right now.
I mean,
Is that what you mean?
looking at the trend, understand what is the style, and see if we can actually create education around it. Because right now it's like my bantai je. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every single, I mean, I see a lot of people love to mime voice. You know what I mean? It's like they'll take a track from a movie and then they'll act it out
yeah.
themselves. And you know, the more natural you look doing it, the more, I mean, you know, the more likes you get. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is this what the generation likes? Okay, that's cool. So gone are the days of like, you know, old school acting, like when you watch Forrest Gump and things like that. You know what I mean? You can't hold shots that long either.
Yep.
You know, you just cannot retain the attention of people.
Everything wants quick cuts.
Yeah, exactly. So let's watch, let's see, you know. But based on your question about acting, about TV and theatre, yes, massive difference. But I think acting in itself is in its own right is going to be very different very, very soon. By 2024, definitely by 2024.
So wow, you're really ahead of the curve, aren't you, right now?
Well, I mean, just watching it lah. What are we going to teach next? That's the question.
Yeah, that's a good question. So,
Tapi I macam tak boleh nak get over with this. Apa yang you cakap tadi. So you ada cakap that you went abroad to start your acting career, if I'm not mistaken. So
No.
when you
I didn't study abroad. Sorry, I went abroad to study acting. So it was macam I was working as an actor and a TV presenter dalam muda, and then I went to study it all over again.
so you went abroad and
Yeah.
then you came back and you start over again?
I had to start all over again.
Why is that?
Because when you leave the industry, people just forget who you are. It's different. I didn't have Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok and all sorts of things. So I did not have an avenue to keep myself in the face of the public, you know. And also I just sucked at social media lah. Malas gila, right?
Same.
So that is why it didn't happen. But if you come to think of it, had I went there while I was there, I kept on, you know, engaging my fans or whatever, then maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. I think like people like Juliana Evans and
wow, that's a name I haven't heard in ages.
I think who did well was Juliana Evans. She grew her Facebook likes first. She went to the US to study, and while she was there, she kept posting stuff about her and her education. That when she came back, it was easy to just get back in. I, on the other hand, left completely forgotten, and then I came back and I had to start from scratch all over again.
So when you went abroad, was it the same genre that you carry when you're in Malaysia? When you went abroad, is it still in the same genre or
what do you
different?
mean genre?
Like, for example, here it's so typical that macam biasa kalau kita cakap pasal movie dekat Malaysia or anything, it's all about like romance. Suamiku encik, blah blah blah. Suamiku encik, gini-gini.
Dekat
so you
sana,
don't like that?
Tak, dekat sana genre content dekat situ, diorang lagi edgy lah. They, you know, kalau diorang punya mentality is like, kalau you nak jadi pelakon, kalau you tak boleh stretch yourself, you boleh pergi mum. Okay.
Pergi mum?
Yeah, exactly. Because honestly, it's like that's where you see if you are a really versatile and good actor or not.
Yeah.
I mean, they make you play homosexuals.
Yeah.
They make you play you know, different religions and things like that, and it's not about what you see depan stage tau. It's about apa you kena lakukan dekat belakang tabir tu for your preparation, so that when you are actually acting or performing, right, you're doing it right, that people can believe you lah. You actually have to believe yourself that you are a priest, for example, in order to be a priest, you know. And that belief is not just like, oh, I believe I'm a priest. It's like, I have to believe in the Lord Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? If I did not take myself there as an actor, then you're not doing your job very well lah. You know what I mean? And so that's the kind of genre that they take you, and there's many other genres. The content dekat sana is much deeper. People appreciate talking about, you know, cultural sensitivities and things like that.
It's much open
Is
compared to Malaysia. Like Malaysia, it's all about romance, and kalau kita tengok kan macam, okay, dekat overseas it's so many things that you can do. Tapi kat sini very sort of like restricted. What is that?
I think there's two parts lah. One is control, and the other is because it's what the people like. Sebenarnya kita bagi apa yang orang suka. And kalau dia orang suka rom-com, dia orang suka cinta, okay lah. Dia orang suka tengok zombie. When I came back, it was all about zombie. It was all about hantu.
Zombie
Hantu.
apa? Kambing
All
pisang.
pisang, rambutan, all the pokok. All the pokok ada.
Tapi itulah macam kalau kita cakap pasal romance ni nanti apa? Datuk Jamil, saya ada projek 50 juta.
Yeah.
Nanti papa tu. You get what I mean? It's like the same thing that's going on
Also,
over and
it's
over
not
again.
it's not realistic. It's not realistic.
Yes.
Like you want to talk about real stuff, it's not there. I believe that the biggest issue here is our censorship department.
LPF ah.
Yeah. It's what they control and why they control it. I don't know. I don't care. I'm not interested. I'm interested in doing work. But I'll tell you one thing. I mean, I'll tell you one thing though. Working with censorship, which is what I've been doing pretty much all my life in Malaysia, right, has really tested my creativity and it's brought my creativity level to higher than any other international counterpart that I've ever worked with. Because we are just sometimes we want to get that message across so hard, right? But we just have so many like layers to go through. You know, we'll work as hard as we can in order to get there. And with more practice, it becomes easier for us. Whereas when you are in the UK, because it's so open, right? It's so easy to just talk.
It's okay.
Sorry, that was me banging.
Semangat
That
tu.
was me banging there. Yeah. Because it's so hard. Like because you can talk about anything.
Yeah.
So in the end, it's like doesn't matter lah. There's no censorship, so things become easy. You know what I mean? And so your creativity is not challenged as hard. So it's ups and downs.
I mean,
Pros and cons.
There's the old saying lah. Creativity only grows through limitations.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's like when you are put in a box, that's when you somehow figure a way to get out of that box.
That's right. That's right.
So back to your part about actor prepares, right? So what are the steps or preparations that you do personally to prepare for a character?
Okay, so the first thing I would do is read the script at least 10 times before I read the script.
Siap Kalau skrip tu 100 page.
Terpaksa lah.
Wow.
So bukan
Kalau you nak buat betul-betul lah.
yalah.
That's why I only do it for mostly I do it for theatre. Alright? Let's be realistic. Okay, talk about if you're asking me about how I prepare for it as an actor for a character, if I'm serious about it, I will read it at least 10 times before I read the script. What I mean is I will skim through the script about 10 times. I need to understand the story, get it into my head again and again before I actually sit down and read the deeper meaning into it, and then you start properly reading. That works if you're doing theatre. You got 3 months to prepare, right? In Malaysia, usually what happens is that you get your script, actually around the world, because now things move so fast, right? You get your script probably about half an hour, a day or two before your shoot. You know what I mean? Before your actual shoot, right? So sometimes come on, you give me a script today, and then okay, tomorrow we're gonna go shoot this grab. Tomorrow we're gonna shoot this ad.
Okay.
You know what I mean? For example, but you give me the script today. How many times do I have to read that? You know what I mean? How much time do I have to get it into my head, etc., etc.? You don't, right? So you have to be able to work within that limitation and do your best with it. But if you're asking me about general preparation, you read it 10 times before you start actually reading the script. When you do that, then you start to break down you have to start breaking down what the character does. Perbuatan dia. And then you have to do what the character does. So for example, kalau dia accountant, right? Duduklah buat ledger banyak-banyak. You know what I mean? Your free time, spend about half an hour just working on a ledger, get comfortable working on a ledger. Because sometimes we just don't like looking at numbers. You know what I mean? If you can allow yourself to actually know how to complete a set of ledgers, discipline yourself so that you have your receipts all in place and things like that, makes you more meticulous. It changes you as a person. But not because you acted like it, it's because you did it and you understand why a person behaves like this. You know what I mean? So after you've started doing it, then you can go as far as eating what the character eats, depending on which country they're from. You can do the exercises that they like. You can develop relationships that they have. Say, for example, if I'm not married, but then my character has a wife, you know what I mean? How does it feel to be married? You know what I mean? And of course, don't have to do the entirety of it, but maybe pick certain moments in your life. You know what I mean? Just have a bunch of people stand in front of you, your friends, and then you stand next to a woman, and you know, and depan tu you either buat main nikah. You know what I mean? Just for fun, or like have a friend play a priest or whatever. I now pronounce you. Do it. See how it feels. Don't play so much. You know what I mean? Enjoy that process, so that these are things that you can take into yourself, and then from there put it out into the character.
Okay.
Yeah.
That kind of thing
Okay.
You nak cuba ke, Mike?
Dah cuba dah.
Dah kahwin.
Dah cuba.
Mike dah kahwin dah. Tapi dia
wait,
belum. Mike belum kahwin.
Kahwin dah.
Nikah belum. Dia kahwin dah. Dia nikah belum. Tapi yang nikah dia pun macam yang acting punya nikah.
Ay, gitu. Yang ni jangan cut.
It's all fiction. That's the whole point. It's like you do it properly, but it's all fiction at the end of the day. Itu yang kena ingat.
Yang ni jangan cut.
Yang penting kalau tak dapat cut daripada Jakim, tak salah.
Tapi kalau yang ni I tak boleh nak masukkan ni polyamory ke monogamy ke, tak boleh sebab dia semua ni proper.
Bukan proper, fiction.
Fiction.
Fiction dengan proper lain.
I tak boleh letak label ni.
So okay, that was for acting, like the physical part of acting. So another physical part about acting is also the voice.
Yes, definitely.
How do you find voices for your character, man? Because like you have done so many characters. The last one I saw you on theatre was in 2017, where you played a Japanese character. I mean, like it was an interpretation of a Japanese character, but you played two different characters on stage.
Yep.
One part was something else. The second part was something. The second character was something else. So, how do you adjust your voice? And like, I'm not going through your body structure yet, lah. How your body shape and everything. But let's go into the voice itself. How do you find that your voices for the characters?
Right. I guess it moves back. It always goes back to the perbuatan.
Okay.
So, for example, once you've read the character, you understand that perbuatan of one character is very lurus bendul. You know, he's a policeman. Going back to the Bee that you're talking about, which was directed by Kelvin Wong. There was one character was a very lurus character, and the other character was very curved. Yeah, it was a criminal, you know, that sort of thing. And his badan was. It is said there that he, you know, he's crawling on the floor, and he how he walks also is very. He drags his feet and things like that. So when you walk like that, you tend to realize. So if let's say you hunch your body like that, so naturally without having to do anything, my voice will be like this. But if I stand straight, then suddenly the quality of my voice, without doing anything, it just changes, right? So you can hear the difference between this, me sitting up straight, and then you can hear the difference between that and this, without doing anything. So then from there you amplify it. You know what I mean? It doesn't come from an idea. It comes from the doing. And then from there you start moving about. So when the voice is low, then, you know, you might want to also, to make things interesting, you always have to clash, right? So let's say your voice is low, but you talk high. So I want to have a high voice, but it's actually low. You know, and then and that's where you clash it, always clash it, you know what I mean? Versus if you're very high, you want to, I want to go very low. So like, I'm high, but I'm low, you know what I mean? And so that's what you get when you're standing up straight, but you're bringing your voice down, versus you're very low down here, but you're trying to bring it up. This is what you get. Versus if you're standing up, but if you go one direction, for example, I'm standing up straight, and then I go very high. It's just like that, you know what I mean? Macam, yeah, so what? It's one direction. You're not crisscrossing, you're not clashing. That's what makes things interesting, clashing.
So basically what we're trying to say is that conflict creates the story.
And the voice.
Okay. Gitu bukan? Gitu.
Betul.
Gitu. Nampak? Gitu I belajar. Kan I cakap sihat-sihat ni e-learning platform.
Yes.
Itulah
straight away. Yeah, straight away. Okay.
It's applicable kan. Aplikasi.
Tak lah, because like you got to understand, you do a small voice, you're 6'2", you understand not? You're 6'2", so we do a small voice, it is a lot.
I was gonna say, you are pretty tall for a chick, you know what I mean? Like,
well, as a national netball player, you have to be tall.
international
Gitu.
gitu.
Gitu lah. Letak claim claim.
Claim
I'm
je,
just gonna
claim
put
je.
it. I'm
It's not
just
like
gonna
someone
put it
is-
here. Boom.
It's not like anyone can take that away from you.
Okay, that's cool.
Alright.
That's cool.
So still on the topic of acting lah kan. Almost lost my train of thought because of you. Thank you.
Hey.
Yeah.
I baru
So-
nak shift the spotlight sikit.
Baru nak cakap pasal netball kan.
Saja lah korang ni.
So, what's our future plan together?
I don't know. Do you play basketball also?
We can train together for that.
Okay. Ayo.
Okay, so
Tak lah, kau nak block kena besar sikit lagi.
I tak nak. I malas nak bangun. Lagi kang pergi pandang I macam ni sana.
Bukan aku semua, dua-dua kena macam tu kan. It's like macam female empowerment kan. Correct lah.
Exactly.
So,
Pretty high.
there's a lot of characters that you played over your career lah. There's been a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, which one you say was the toughest for you?
Oh man, I don't know. They're all tough, really. But then, like, I think the ones that I failed were the toughest. That means I never achieved it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There were definitely characters that I messed up big time, totally screwed it up. I was playing a character of a Jewish businessman.
Is this Merchant of Venice?
No, in a modern American play called Heidi Chronicles. It was rehearsed well, but then something about me was not able to execute it while we were performing. You know, and that hurt my ego very badly. It also hurt my belief in myself a lot. But why it happens, I think that's a lot to do with mental health.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think as an actor, sometimes you stretch yourself too much. Sometimes you do things, you work so hard at it, you know, you stress yourself out too much, and then when it comes to time, you're done. You know, you don't even want to do it. Like you feel like you can't even cope. You know, that's one of the characters. I would say that, but that's one that I failed. There were many others, but the toughest character to hold. No lah. I think it's like this lah. When you cannot cope, you cannot
Not
cope.
cope.
When you love a character, when you're having fun doing it, right, and you find your groove, right, then all characters are just as difficult. You know what I mean? They're all complex. There's no character too simple. You know, you can work as hard as you want in any role, no matter how small or big.
But do you like the challenges?
Yeah, I love it. That's why I do it. I get off on it. Yeah.
Because I have these questions like been playing around in my mind. Like,
Shoot.
would you wanna take a character that is like so hard? Like, for example, like Kristen Stewart is playing for Princess Diana in Spencer, and that's like a huge shift from what she's doing, but she's playing Princess Diana. So for you, would you like wanna like do something that is totally out of your comfort zone, or you just stick to like whatever that I'm comfortable with, and surely it's gonna be successful? What do you
Absolutely
think?
go out of your comfort zone, because that's how I function. Like, stay out of your comfort zone. That's one thing. Secondly, as an actor, like I said just now, we were trained to be versatile. If you're not doing something versatile, then you're just not working. You know what I mean? So choose the hard ones. Like, for example, the last most important piece I did, I found, and I find I nailed it. I thought I had fun doing it, was Harold Pinter's Betrayal. It's a very heavy play about betrayal of trust, about lies, deceit, and cheating on each other's friends. In fact, it's about two best friends, and one guy is sleeping with the other guy's best friend, right? And this is all, you know, infidelity lah. You know what I mean? That kind of like thoughts when you're talking about it, and another, I chose that because the character that I was supposed to play is very complex, and I've always wanted to play it. You know, he's how do you face your best friend every day? So I come and hang out with you every day, and actually at the back of the head I know that I'm doing something wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you need to pretend, or you need to act in front of your friend that everything's all right. You know, because your friend calls you every day and you hang out with him every day. But that's, and not act it out. You actually have to live it. You know what I mean? So that for me was very difficult. The other thing was that we did the show, and this was Joe Hasham's genius. We did the show in different languages every night. So in one night we'd have it in English, the other night we do it in Malay, and then a night in English, the other night in Malay. The whole play. So we had to memorize the script twice. We had to memorize 2 scripts for one show.
The whole script.
The whole play.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Tapi
So
content storyline sama lah.
sama lah. But
Tapi it's just that macam when you change certain words into a different language, itu yang susah nak cope tu.
it feels different, and
Yeah.
the exploration was double the work as well, because like, for example, when you put out an expression like, what's the matter, cat's got your tongue, right? Takkan nak cakap, kenapa tu kucing dah dapat lidah kau ke? You know what I mean?
Kucing
No,
takkan lidah.
but then you find that the best way to say it in that particular concept, asal senyap je.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you don't want
Yeah.
and that wasn't easy, and like we had to cari. So yeah.
Wow. So the thing is, right, macam there's a lot of things that go on within an actor. Like especially when it's during the exploration time, even like after shows or after like shoots pun, there is this fatigue that affects your mind so much. Especially like trying to get out of a character. It's like macam here's you on set. Here's you when it says like macam lights on, that's the character.
Yeah.
The minute lights off, curtains close, it's like the character is supposed to be left on stage or on set. But somehow somehow it stays with you. But,
Yeah, because like sometimes like your character is in blonde hair, so the way you get out of that character, do you like dye your hair black again?
No, that's
just
what
for
I
the
mean.
sake of
So what I went to say is like, how do you leave your character behind?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's take the blonde bit
Yeah.
first. Yes, you can dye your hair back black, but then after you're done with the shoot or the production lah, you know what I mean? That's like a ritual for you to step out. Sama dengan ritual to step in. You know what I mean? Saya nak jadi karakter ni, saya akan dye rambut saya. So you just, do a little bit of a mantra, and, you sort of say to yourself that, okay, I'm going to be myself, but I'm also going to explore this entire new character, which is completely not me, and I don't want to judge, and I want to do my best, and, therefore, Ya Allah, Ya Tuhanku, let me do my best while doing this. And for this, I'm also going to dye my hair. All right? Please take care of me for the next 3 months. It's almost very spiritual like that. Also, another thing is the things that you do, or at least this is how I do it, right? Yeah. If the character, for example, is, I don't know, has got a lot of if the character has a lot of emotional, really like, what's the word? If the character has a lot of traumatic experiences that they have to go through, and you haven't actually gone through these traumatic experiences, I would go, my process is to actually put myself in situations for me to feel these traumatic experiences. But you have to remember, once you are done with that, right?
Yeah.
Once you're done with that, you cannot undo those traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
It's still like, this is a character you're playing, yes, but the body that is playing it is yours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the mind that is playing it is yours. So you also have to ask yourself what your boundaries and limitations are. Be clear about that. There's some things that you don't want to do. It's okay. It's not a bad thing. There's some things that you don't mind doing, and that's great. You know what I mean? And that's what it means by pushing yourself. But really, it's connecting yourself to an anchor, right? Saying to the divine or whoever it is that you worship, or whatever it is that you're stuck with, or that you're connected to, and say, listen, I want to explore this. This is something that I'm going to do over a period of time, and please help me with it. And then when you're done with it, thank you very much. I re-dye my hair. I thank you for protecting me throughout all these experiences, etc., and I want to go back to my normal self. It's as simple as talking to yourself like that. You know what I mean?
Have you ever like experienced like you could not get out of character?
Yeah, I mean, it was like I did. So that was before we learned how to do things safely like this. It wasn't bad lah. It's not as if I just became gila and things like that. But for example, I was very, at one point in time, I was quite like not to say timid, but I feel that I was not a very rude and cocky person, or at least I trained myself to not be like that. And then this character was very like, you know, he will say the nastiest things and things like that. You know what I mean? And I just found that it terbawa-bawa outside lah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would find myself saying really nasty things to people.
Sebab
And I'm
dah
like,
terbiasa.
"What?" Yeah, terbiasa. Why did I say that? You know what I mean? And which I kind of liked it. Oh shit, you know. But like, okay, then you really have to like say, okay, this is not you. Take time lah. Apologize to those people that you were nasty to. You should apologize to yourself, because actually you end up hating yourself more for doing the things that you actually don't like doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, for being an asshole.
So, any tips on forgiving yourself then?
Huh?
Any tips on how you forgive yourself?
No lah. I think forgiving yourself is, I don't know. We've seen it all on Instagram, right? Forgiving yourself is the hardest thing to do, but it's the most easier. I don't know lah. It's betul. Like I think I said forgiving yourself ni. You just have to practice self-care lah. It's like the tips. Okay, sometimes you're hard on yourself and you can't forgive yourself.
Yeah.
Tak apa.
Yeah.
Go practice self-care. Go watch a movie by yourself. You know, go eat a nice meal by yourself. It starts there, right?
Me time.
But yeah, have some me time and say it's okay. Tak apa. We all make mistakes. Tak apa. You know what I mean? It will sometimes your mindset will suddenly go back there. So you're okay you do that. You're okay today. You're okay for a month. Then suddenly your mind triggers something. That memory comes back, and you're like cringe deep down inside yourself, and you're like, Allah, why did I do that? I'm still so malu about it and all that. You know, tak apa. It will happen again and again. That forgiveness is a process, man. It's like.
Would you say your acting process, your preparation, everything, would you say it's a bit of method acting, or is it a lot of method acting?
Yeah, it's methodology in acting. Okay. It's
That's a new term.
I used to be a person who was very clear cut, that says like, okay, so this is method acting, this is system acting. I am a system actor because I come from the school of Stanislavski and things like that. Okay, that's fine. But essentially everything that points back to the culmination of things is that it's all based on doing things, and it's about doing things systematically and not as random. You know what I mean? So you, as an actor, if you're a system actor, you do things, you plan what you're going to do and you do it systematically. If you're a method actor, you plan what you're going to do, your method, and then you execute it methodically. That's all it means, right? But for me now, I guess I am an actor, whether I use the system or the method. I do things methodically lah.
Berkaedah lah, as you used to say.
Berkaedah lah.
As you used to say.
That's all. Yeah, that's it.
But when you're in a project, right after you shoot for the day, do you like to hang out with your co-actors, or you just know like I want to step back?
No, I don't know. It depends. I have done both, right? I guess when you step out of work, when you step out of either the stage or whether you step out of the set, it's like a job. You know, you have to sometimes go have lunch with your colleagues. Right? And sometimes you just have other things to do, because we're more gig economy people. We're not like, oh, we're at the office and therefore we have to do daily after work drinks. You know what I mean? Some cultures are like that when you are in an office, right? So yes, divide your time. Sometimes you can go for these events and sometimes you don't have to go for these events. You know what I mean?
So last question on acting lah.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you know, there has been a lot of how to say, like macam negativity when it comes to method acting lah. For example, Heath Ledger, so there are certain characters that are really, really like traumatized, and they really, really have a mental, like we'll say, like they have mental conditions lah.
Yep.
Okay, so like Heath Ledger was like, in argument, is like one of the best Jokers there's been since of the century, right? But he was a method actor.
One off
lah. I mean, no, I'm not going there with you. I'm not going there with you yet.
It's okay.
No, I'm not going there with you. So,
Okay.
how does this kind of like methodology, like kaedah-kaedah ni kan, affect your mental health? I mean, like, because it's a lot of things tau. It's a lot of things yang kau kena buat to get to that stage. Like Joker is not an easy character. It's like, like we understand, because like we understand that things have happened to him. For him to be like that antisocial, that emotionless when it comes to doing his things, like how does that affect an actor in the end of the day?
I don't know. How does it really affect a person? I mean, like it depends on the person, you know. So we're all different. You know, some people are actually okay lying to people and then get caught lying and then still lie to people. And some people are also okay telling people that, you know, I can't come to work because I have to go to the toilet, you know, or I'm having a really bad stomach ache or something like that. For other people, I find that they find that very embarrassing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so with the different types of people, some people will be able to accept the fact easier that they need to say, okay, like they need to understand that the world needs to burn. That you know, there's 1,000 ringgit that they have no problems just setting it on fire because they want to see the world go in chaos. You know, they might be able to accept that. Maybe Heath Ledger was not that type of person. Maybe he had to go through a lot traumatically in order for you to achieve that. I find that maybe it might have been too much for him. You know what I mean? The things that he had to do. I don't doubt at all that it was psychological. I don't doubt at all that he was methodical and he did it well. But you know, maybe it terbawa-bawa lah. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just cannot control that stuff. Also, I'm also a firm believer in, man, when it's your time, it's your time. You know what I mean? I don't know, you want to say 100% that kills you. You know, it was that character that killed him. It could have been a piano on his head. You know what I mean? If it wasn't the Joker. But, you know, you want to compare that with Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay, dude, I'm not going there with you, bro. I'm not going there with you.
If you watch his interview, he just walked in and walked out. He was like, after he was done, he was like, I'm done. And it was, I would argue, one of the best performances I've ever seen.
I mean, I will agree with you on the part that it was a very good performance, like 100%. But when it comes to an actual depiction of Joker, that's going to be a whole different story.
Yeah, no. But that's up to
that's
the direction. That's the entire production. That's a completely different
story.
story.
That's why if we end up going there, it's going to be another 2-hour conversation.
That's fine.
Not go there.
But I hope I answered your question about Heath Ledger. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Thanks for that, man.
I feel like I'm third wheeling right now. Like you guys are like
it's just that
romancing connection over here, man. Come on.
It's like,
okay.
Come on.
It's just
we'll go play some netball after.
Ay, dia kenakan lagi.
Nanti kena kau jangan doh, nanti kau dia bagi kau seksis baru kau tahu.
Allah.
Susah pula. Yalah, bola jaring untuk perempuan je kan.
No lah, actually men also play netball.
I know.
But let's not get into that.
Let's not go there now. Let's not go there. Let's not go
We'll
there.
talk about that in another podcast.
So bro, okay, moving on lah. So from actor, you became an entrepreneur.
Yep.
And you're the first actor, I would say like, in Malaysia, I'm not sure if, maybe in the world juga lah, because you're the first one to create, tak juga not the first one to create.
What do you mean?
To create the term actor-prenuer. Mencampurkan pelakon dan juga usahawan.
Yeah, I mean that's just very TikTok of me, innit? I just did it because it was.
FYI, you created it before TikTok was
No,
right?
but I'm
Very
talking about
TikTok of me.
Wow,
I'm like, why is
that's
he
a
so
new
TikTok?
term.
Yeah,
Very
because
TikTok
is a platform for you to like put out your stuff and be seen, and like it's really about, here, look at what I've done. You know what I mean? It's all amazing stuff on TikTok. If it's not amazing, it's not on TikTok.
in a way.
You know what I mean? Like everything I scroll out, I'm like, wow. So
Yeah.
I guess that was just me wanting to create a wow factor lah. You know, I was like, I'm an actor, I'm an entrepreneur, I will be an actor-preneur. You know, I don't even know what that means. You know what I mean? It's like, but yeah, I did it. But I don't think I am not the first actor to go entrepreneurial, right? Bron Palare did it years before. Yeah, Dato' Roshamno did it way before. I think one of the things that I tried to do was I tried to go tech with it, which I kind of failed big time with. You know what I mean? Because I created a software called Tablework, and it was supposed to help actors develop their characters online on a virtual rehearsal space with directors, etc., etc. But yeah, that kind of didn't work out. But I think that was on a test of my entrepreneurial skills more than my acting skills. I think the product was sound. It's just that I didn't know how to get it out there. So I was more of an actor than an entrepreneur at that point in time. So I really had to build my entrepreneurial skills.
Or is it just because of the society's acceptance about that?
It's a bit of that. No, but it's also because I understand now where I went wrong. Having built products again and again and again after that, I actually understood what it takes to get a product off the ground. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And how much it costs as well, which is something like in the beginning it was all like, yes, let's do it because we have to be in tech and like everything is cool. I want to be a tech entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But you worked a lot with magic though. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, like, no, but
you trained a lot through.
I did a lot of training.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I did that first, and then I went for the training. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was because of my want to do that. I went to all these courses. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like I went through all these courses and I was developing, and then finally I created this.
Something okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, you're the first. I would say that macam you're the few guys that uses acting skills or acting techniques for the corporate use. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
You were the first one to do it. Like,
not the first
really.
one.
Not the first one.
Not the first one
in
in
Malaysia?
not the first one in Malaysia.
Ini macam humble
Definitely.
je ni.
no, not humble.
Not the
because
first one, not the
ni
first
fakta,
one.
ni fakta.
Oh,
No.
fakta lah.
No,
First time.
I'm one
No.
of the
Yeah.
I'm one of the earlier ones,
you're the
and
early
I'm
one.
still
There you go.
I'm one of the earlier ones, and I'm still one of the practicing ones. In fact, now we started with acting for corporates,
Yeah.
and then which was basically team building and stuff like that. Tiara Jacquelina and the gang at Infinity also does that. Mano Maniam and a lot of other solo actors also do that for corporates, etc., etc. It's just that it's not widely accepted. This is where Najwa, I would say that it is not widely accepted. Theatre as an ideology of learning, right? For pedagogy, which is like for adult learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They still think that theatre is for kids, so to speak. Whereas it can be used to improve adults at the workspace, so to speak. But yeah, after that, I moved on to using acting skills for pitching, specifically for entrepreneurs when they're trying to like pitch for money. I managed to pitch and I got a couple of rounds of I got investment, right?
Yeah.
So pitching wise, great. Idea wise, great. Execution wise, maybe not so much. But that was a learning curve. And then I started doing acting for animators. So now I work with animation students.
Yeah.
I teach them acting so that they can create organic movements in the cartoons that they create. It's a system called referencing. So in the US, this is huge. Disney, everyone has in-house actors, and all animators probably go through acting courses in order for them to have a understanding of this, right? Here in Malaysia, it's still very new, so I'm sort of developing that as well. And now we've moved into acting for lawyers. That was the recent thing that I did in during the MCO. So yeah, still doing that.
Okay. So you created two online platforms once upon a time. One was F-Talent, the other one was Fungry TV. So how did you come up with these two products? Or these two platforms?
I guess like F-Talent was really me wanting to. Okay, F-Talent was weird. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking I wanted to give free acting classes to society forever, and
Kebajikan tu namanya.
It's called kebajikan, ya. Tapi kebajikan tanpa sustainability itu nama dia gila, bukan kebajikan. Itu kebanjingan.
Banjingan.
For myself lah. But anyways, you can bleep all this, right? I don't know. Okay, but anyways, the point is, I came up with that platform solely because of the need to level the playing field and get a lot more people thinking, talking, living, acting. Because I realized that a lot of people wanted to become actors, but they did not they weren't allowed by their parents. They were asked to do other things and all that. But here we are every other Tuesday night where you can come over and do acting exercises and get in touch and talk to like-minded people. You can talk about movies, etc., etc. But you come together to do an acting class. You know what I mean? Have fun doing it. So that was what we created, and what it became was a community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was cool, but it was. I thought it was a good community. It can still be revived. I mean, people still chat on the F-Talent platform, their Facebook every now and then. I still use it sometimes for casting calls, etc., etc. But it's definitely something not sustainable in the long run. It's also because not many people are into acting as something that can truly generate revenue. But Fangri TV was my love for food and doing crazy things. So I decided, since we're doing content anyways, right? Why not? Since we eat every day anyways, why not shoot everything we eat and put it together? And it doesn't need to be. So it was. We didn't want to do high-end production. Everything was from phone, and we came up with a system. It's just take your phone, take a couple of photos, move it here, move it there, send it over to us, and we'll pay you 50 ringgit for every video that we decide we want to use.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And we did that. We created nearly 200 videos in 1 year.
Wow.
Yeah, but that one sort of stopped because the team could not carry on, and it was a matter of a team thing. Yeah.
I mean, you did something crazy with Fangri TV though. I mean, nasi lemak burger, kau saja nak buat sikit
Yeah.
kau saja,
So, no, but we had so Fangri TV gave us, like I said, it was food and fun.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody went. We already had videos coming out, right? Somebody came up with the nasi lemak burger, and it became such a big deal. I was like, apa kita buat char kway teow the burger, and we did it. You know what I mean? And because we could, because we could, and we got the help of friends and people who believed in it, and we got covered by even CNBC Asia. I was like, everybody's talking about nasi lemak burger, but some guy just decided to come up with the char kway teow burger. Look at these guys. You know what I mean? And we were so much so that pledge to us guys, 1,000 pledges, and we'll give you a nasi lemak. We'll give you a char kway teow burger. Blah blah blah. I mean, it was because we could, man.
Right.
It was just having fun. Again, not a sustainable business model.
In a way, it wasn't lah. I mean,
No. I mean, okay. I wouldn't say it's not sustainable. It's more like it was like a playground.
Yeah.
It was a playground that I would say Fangri TV was sustainable.
yeah.
Fangri TV was F-Talent not sustainable. But actually, that was I would say that was my third business that actually became. Okay, we didn't lose any money in this one. You know what I mean? And then now we've got another business, and we're getting better and better at saving money lah.
I mean, would you say towards your progress from acting, from starting as an actor apa semua kan? Because food was always your thing. Best in the World was your thing, right?
Yeah.
Food was your thing, 100%. So did you come up with Fangri TV because your love for food and also because you had the background behind it?
That was exactly it. It was just putting things that I love together.
Shun.
Yeah.
Alright. So what was it? Najwa dengan Syah pula.
But all in all, you did everything out of passion. That you jump from this to this to this. But when you think about the base, it's all about passion.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I guess it's more like doing what you like to do lah. It's dangerous. I wouldn't recommend people living like I do.
Okay, bro. I know. Before you go there, it's wouldn't you say lah? Okay. I'm not blowing smoke up you or whatever.
Okay,
but I'm just saying your failures slowly made you build up to something successful.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Would you say so?
Yeah.
No, it's not even. Would I say so? I would definitely say you cannot learn without failing. And this is the thing. So my main thing is that our education system does not allow us to fail. You know, or at least mentally, it doesn't allow us to fail.
Yep.
And that's something we have to go
Change.
against. Yeah.
Yep.
So I learned how to fail when I was in England. All the training that I went through, they were telling us in school every time, you buat salah, hey, it's okay. Do again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Do it again tomorrow. Do better tomorrow. And that was the attitude that I took back with building, all these entrepreneurships that I was working on.
Yeah.
And it's still how I function today. I still fail every day.
Is it because in Malaysia we are not used to constructive criticism?
Yes, I still find myself quite adverse to receiving it, but I have to knock myself in the head every time. It's like yesterday, we have this new food business, and my mom and my dad ate it. They were like, "Apa ni, Razif? Tak sedap lah. You better know what you're thinking." You know, so, and like in my mind, I was like,
Hey.
no, they might have a point. They might have a point. You know? So you have to lah. You have to be. Yeah, it's hard to.
I mean, would you say that because your latest entrepreneurial tryout, would you say it's a tryout or business? Is Wayang Kitchen? It's the late. Is it?
No, actually, now the latest now is we have moved on to. I mean, I've got another business called Nasi Kukus Cap Rimau Melayang.
Hey.
So we are launching very soon, right? It's
so dulu kita pergi kat Wayang Kitchen, lepas tu kita pergi angkat nasi lemak rimau Melayang.
Okay.
Ulang balik. Nasi kukus
Cap Rimau Melayang.
Hoi.
Ada. Dia macam dia old school lah. Dia Nasi Kukus Cap Rimau Melayang. Dia tak macam baru lah. You know, it's a very old school thing. But yes, definitely preneur-wise, it's not launched yet. So yes, the latest is Wayang Kitchen.
Okay. So how did you start that? Because like that was completely out of the blue. What did you say?
Wayang Kitchen. So Wayang Kitchen was me because Wayang Kitchen was me and a partner, Hester Welsh. She's a theatre maker in the UK, and we're still partners. We're still developing this together. But the idea was I wanted to move. I still wanted to go with food. I love making food content. But I was sick and tired of making videos. I thought everywhere you look online, it's like a food video. I would look on TV, you know, all the channels are just food stuff, right? So I was thinking, how do I make content much more edgy, much more meaningful, you know what I mean? And what I knew best, which was edgy and meaningful, was definitely theatre. Right? Yeah. So I decided, why not combine theatre and food? It's like, you know, we have all these dinner events like dinner with a show. You know what I mean? So why not create really high-end theatre like West End, you know, spectacular Cirque du Soleil type theatre with food. So as you see people somersault and then, you know, there's a poof in the air, you eat all the candies and you're like, oh, gila, you know, that sort of thing. So we were thinking that far. And so that's why we started Wayang Kitchen, really. We just wanted to go away from the conventional content. And our business model was to actually create tourism shows because we knew that, you know, people pay for tourism, you know, to watch the you know, at Matic, you know, they all do the sumazau, and then after that you sumpit, there's a guy with the sumpit, you know what I mean? So that, and then sambil tu makan, you know, nasi lemak, the buffet, you know what I mean? So for us, it's more like, why do we need to do that? Why not focus on like today, the nasi lemak adventure, so that you have like a whole array of nasi lemak and you're focused and you tell stories about it, and then there's a makcik, she turns into a transformer, and then, you know, that sort of like thing. It's crazy. So yeah, that was the idea lah, to take it that far.
All right. So how many shows has there been on?
We've done 1, 2, 3, 4. We've done about 6 so far. We've done about 6. A lot of our shows were cancelled because of COVID. COVID.
Ay, boring lah.
Tapi tak apa. Inshallah, it's gonna come back. It's gonna come back. It's the best part is that I work with a very diverse group. So Hester, being English, is, you know, she's quite gila lah. You know what I mean?
What, Esther Wells?
Hester Welsh. She's quite crazy, and she's a lot into clowning. So a lot of our stuff is very playful work. And I'm very serious as an actor. So the kind of work that I do has a lot of depth, and I'm a lot about writing, where she's writing things down, whereas she's all about play and improvise. You know what I mean? And have fun. So we strike a balance between our works, and that's what we do. Yeah.
Right. So yang the last part bisnes yang baru ni keluar bila nak launching?
InsyaAllah dalam masa seminggu lebih kita nasi kukus cap limau Melayang. Nasi kukus biasa je, makanan tu.
Dia terus pandang I tadi.
Nasi kukus cap limau Melayang. I love it.
Free sound effect.
I love it.
Tak ada kat producer.
Itu ada nanti I minta. Okay. Thank you for that.
problem.
Yeah, so that one we are still at the tail end. We're at the tail end of R&D. Inshallah by December we're out already.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Now 1 more month to like less than a month.
Huh?
Less than a month. To
Less
go
than a
out.
month, yeah, exactly. In fact, you know what? Off the record, you can cut this off later. I'll send you guys some. We're operating out of Cooks, the cloud kitchen in Glo Damansara, which is just nearby.
Oh, okay.
Right, so you're definitely in our radius. We don't do dine in. We're just delivery platform. So our thing is that we are doing food for the rakyat. Very simple. You want to eat nasi kukus. You want to kenyang. You want to eat something that's familiar in your mind. That's just it. Cap Rimau Melayang, our specialty is that we serve everything with 2 sambals. One is a super fiery sambal belacan, and the other one is a sambal hijau. And that's it. That's what we are.
Aku pun dah dengar dah macam ni dah.
Palio dah ni.
That's what we are.
Very Malaysian like.
So wait,
Yes.
nasi kukus sahajalah dengan sambal, tak ada ayam ah.
No, nasi kukus, sambal. You get a bit of curry, and we got 3 types of ayam. So ayam goreng berempah, ayam
Itu yang penting tau sebenarnya.
Itu sambal kita, yang lain tu. Okay. Ayam goreng sebab semua pun ada ayam kan. Ayam goreng berempah, ayam madu dengan ayam kicap. So that's what
semua
we
orang
have.
ada ayam.
Yeah, so it's all those.
Tak sebut pasal ayam, risau aku. Macam like protein hilang bro, protein hilang.
Ada.
Carbs banyak.
Ada. Ayam
Yelah,
ada. Bermacam ayam.
Orang sebelah ni jaga makan.
Oh yeah. T-shirt pun cakap sihat-sihat.
Nasib baik tak pakai baju.
Nanti aku pun bagi kau satu t-shirt dah. Sama-sama lagi kita sihat-sihat.
Ya. Aku pun makan-makan ni aku dah sihat dah badan aku.
Makin sihat.
Yeah. Itu sebab kau sihat-sihat macam tu sebab makan ke sebab dah kahwin?
Tak. Dia memang sebab kahwin lah makan. Ke sebab makan lah kahwin.
Itu that's a good question.
It doesn't matter.
Kahwin ke nikah?
Ada kedua-duanya sekali. Yeah.
By the way, sorry I missed your wedding for that one.
No, it's cool, man. It's cool. Yeah.
So, guys, thank you so much, Razif. Just want to say first, thank you so much
No worries.
for coming.
I hope I answered your questions okay.
Yes, we had a fun session anyway.
Yeah. And we hope you had fun.
I did.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, it's like hopefully you want to come again and do another one, like just like
Random,
Don't
inshallah.
randomly
If I'm
drop-
not doing anything, give me a call. I'll drop by.
yeah, why not, right?
Yeah.
All right, guys. So that is it. Today's special edition from Razif Hashim on Sembang Sihat by SihatSihat. I'm Mike Azmin. She's
Najwa?
and we're out.